tight, get your pen and paper, all of us have them? Yes. And then let's follow us, and then it's going to be alright. Is that okay?
Yes. Problem statement. What is the problem that you want to solve? And how do you define your problem statement? So, and that is the most important thing. Formulating your problem statement is going to go a long way in conversation with stakeholders, in getting grants, in pitch, you understand? In getting collaborators who are going to work with you. Because you're going to like pitch to me in 2 words what your organization does.
Sometimes what angers you the most might be the sign of your purpose, is a signal, is a calling of your need. Something about children that angers you the most. Something about marriage that angers you the most. And for me, body odor angers me. So I have a talent for perfumes. See? 2 ways to deliver. You begin with raising men with your shoulder from inside the hole. They climb your knee, step on your shoulder, and you raise them up. Have you saved them? Yes. Are you still in the hole? Yes. You are in the hole, but you are raising men out of the hole. And then you grow to a point that you are now outside the hole. And you can lift men out of the hole.
If I must develop myself, I must be able to tell a story or identify with a story that makes me who I am, or identify with the elements that makes me what I am. You would never define a thing you do not understand. Write that down. You can never define a thing you do not understand. And it's impossible to experience what you do not understand either. So, which leads us to 80% of the problem we face in business or in our world. Because we do not understand our strengths and who we are, it's impossible to express confidently the qualities or the power or the ability we possess. And this has to do with excellence and proper participation.
Whatever you hear, whatever you taste, whatever you see, it goes straight. Because if you give it some level of thought, prolonged thought, especially when you are about sleeping, that's why when you are about sleeping, make sure that your thought is a beautiful thought of faith. That's why people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Aliko Dangote, and so many people that you know, this is what they used to break the barrier of poverty. They imagine themselves into becoming something. And every day, they tell themselves, I'm going to be that thing, through what we call affirmation, auto-suggestion. Telling yourself, even when your mind says not true, continue to tell yourself, and you have a plan, and you act according to that. Have a plan that works.
What you do every single day, are you being positive or are you an optimist? And here's the difference. When you are an optimist, when you believe in optimism, you are allowed days where things don't go right, when things go south, when things don't happen your way and something else comes in and, destroys everything that you planned. Optimism is where you tell yourself, that happens, that's life. And you know what? I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to repair myself. I'm going to wallow in self-pity for a while. And then I stand back up. I'm going to dust off my shoulders. And you know what? The sun always comes up tomorrow.
See, the social change must happen at the grassroots. Social change don't happen at the top. It's up to you and for me to be able to use up our fuel. It's about freedom. Everybody say freedom.
Freedom.
You see, freedom is the main reason why we live. Freedom. You see, freedom is behind everything that you and I do. It means what needs to shift within you, because leadership starts within you, an inspiration of thought, emotions, and actions.
Yeah, measuring progress. You don't measure the action, you measure the impact. You can write that down. If you are measuring the action, I did A, B, C, D. That's not that's the vanity matrix. That's not vanity. That's you appealing to your own vanity. But you measure the impact. This is what should occur when it's well done. How close are you to accomplishing that? So when you measure progress, you don't measure actions, you measure the impact.
When you start your journey in the social space, you're not going to work alone. Liverpool always says, you never work alone. So you need to be smart in your work as a social entrepreneur to find out what needs your attention and what doesn't, and then get it off immediately. So here as volunteers, people that you meet to help you work, people who voluntarily come to work with you, right? People who voluntarily want to help you. We say here that they give freely their time and labor for others. Volunteers. Bash said it earlier that he volunteered with me freely. I didn't even get to pay him. But being here today is service back at him for his work. Because for coming that day, I felt that I owed him. I owed him one. Even if I didn't tell him, I know I owe him one. So today he says, do this for me. I said, for sure. Because he voluntarily did for me, I will voluntarily do for him. That's what life is. It's a give and take. It's simple.
Everything about your business must be integrated. Everything. Everything must link to each other. To a combination of products and services. What I've shown you is that you can sell a product and add a service to it. So you need to have short-term assessment, medium-term assessment, and long-term assessment. So after this meeting, when you are writing your business plan, that's part of our assessment.
Because somebody was asking me the other day that, Maggie, what is the real name of Maggie? And I said, what is the real name of Maggie? And I realized that this I didn't. Because we all call it Maggie.
Yeah.
They didn't get it automatically. It took years of conscious efforts to make sure Maggie is the name. Now many people don't use Maggie, many people now use no. But they say buy no Maggie.
Yeah.
They don't say buy, but they buy no Maggie. Buy. Now it took a lot of conscious efforts. Now my favorite definition of a brand right is that brand is a conscious effort in the part of the organization to make a product or services unconsciously significant in the mind of their clients.
In telling your story, paint a picture of the end result. That is what people will buy into. So let me make the example with the non-profit sector. So sometimes you want people to donate 10,000 naira so that you can do your project. Again, story can work. Instead of saying just donate 10,000 naira and support our work, you can actually say Fatima lives in the corners of Nigeria. More often than not, she cannot go to school because she cannot afford it. She wakes up as early as 4 a.m. and what does she do? She hops. She doesn't have time for school. But if you donate 10,000 naira, now she can go to school. You've painted a picture for them to see. And once they can relate to that story or that picture, they are more willing to give.
So one of the key reasons why, as a business and as a non-profit, you need a strong brand is that you actually be able to attract funding at the end of the day. Somehow, at the end of the day, the quality of your work, the character of your person, and the experiences people have working with you, that's what speaks for you in getting funding. Because there are a lot of people fighting for the same fund they are fighting for.
Increased visibility is part of the effectiveness of your channels, garnering more interest around your business, your community, your state, your nation, and you eventually get to be seen around the world. You also increase your social capital, because I know that for every business, whether profit making or not profit making, you require that social capital to remain relevant, to remain in business. So I must say to you that within competitors, within the industry, also amongst us farmers, you have to contribute to increase your social capital.
Everyone that is here wants it bright. The future is not just bright, the future is brighter. Yes! Yes!